Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Today is June 2nd, 2020. My name is Tom Beal, and behind the scenes, we have David Lemon here with us. So David's going to be answering your questions inside the Facebook live stream and inside here in StreamYard. So while I'm presenting, you're in for a treat. I think you can see the screen. Can you see my screen? Type in a 1 if you can see my screen and my face. Okay, now you can. Okay, so now you see me and my screen. If you can hear my voice and you can see my screen, type in a 1 and tell me where you're joining us from around the world. We have people all over the world joining us. And before I get too in depth in the training, I want to make sure you all can hear me. So I'm going to make sure I'm in the right place. Okay, I'm in the right place. I see the live comments. Now I see a lot of Facebook users. What that means is in the Facebook description, right above the video or to the side of the video, there's going to say that we're using StreamYard. You have to click that link to allow StreamYard to show me your name and info. So I see a lot of Facebook users. If you hear me, go look at that screen on the Facebook page there that you're watching this. And in the upper description area, it says we're using StreamYard. In order for your comments to be seen by the host, you need to click that link and allow basically StreamYard to pull your information over. So I see a lot of Facebook users. David Diamond, good to see you here. Facebook user. Wolfgang, Facebook user. Eldon. All right, a couple other ones from Facebook users. Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada is here. Okay, a lot of them changed to names now. Bjorg, someone from Orlando, good to see you. Joseph from India, all right, all the way from India, good stuff. Edinburgh, Scotland, man, multinational already. Lots of people all over the place. Eldon from New Zealand, perfect. Looks frozen to me. I see the 1, so I'm missing something. It appears to still be cranking along right now. And the link David posted there is if you click on that link, StreamYard.com/Facebook. That's the link that allows you to show your information. So I still see a lot of Facebook users here. Sorry for yelling. Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Well, the old, we got to have fun on this journey, right? So we're going to get into some meat here shortly, but it's always nice just to get an idea. So we got Edinburgh, Scotland. Yoshi says hi, Tom, and yes, Yoshi, your name has changed now. Yes, Waylon, good to see you here. Linny, finally, woohoo-ness. Yes, Linny, are you live on YouTube too? I don't know the answer to that. I know we
are live. Yes, we are.
Perfect. There we go. So David's going to jump in and help me answer questions I don't know the answer to. So we are live on Facebook and live on YouTube. We're covering the internets right here. Bakersfield, Mark from Bakersfield, Daniel from Iowa, Jody from Tampa, a Facebook user from Las Vegas. So if you haven't done so yet, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. I remember going there for the first time, had to say yes to something, and boom, there now you're allowed to show me your name and whatnot. Linny from Denver, Colorado, Miriam from Rotterdam, Columbus, Ohio. We've got a Facebook user. So, okay, so great. So y'all can hear me. We're here, and you are in for a treat. Behind me, boom, boom, look at this. I even prepared some stuff that you might be able to see, you might not, but I'm going to go over it regardless. So you'll be able to see it, and if not, I'll be able to go over it while we're in our discussions here. So that is what we're going to be covering. But first, I want to show you the stream here. So on my screen, there we go. So basically what we're going to be covering is what was promised to you in the description of what you're going to be learning today is the 5 steps to online success and results. And these are little known things. These are actually something that I was having breakfast with my children. My children are here visiting from New York, and they're 18 and almost 15 years old. And so we sat down at breakfast, and I shared that I was going to be giving this training this evening, and they asked me, what are the 5 steps? So I'm going to show you what the 5 steps are, and they got to see the 5 steps earlier. And these are things that are not discussed that frequently. The first two you may have heard on a regular basis, but the other three kind of dive a little bit deeper. And I'm excited to share those with you. And just as excited to show you a live site creation example that I do on a regular basis. But this one's going to be different because I'm actually going to log into my Namecheap account, which is like GoDaddy. It's the domain registrar. And so a long time ago, and I'll share this brief little tip or secret with you, that was an epiphany that Mike Filsame and I had from a real world experience that happened ages ago. What year? It must have been 2007. And we had numerous domains, and this particular domain was producing significant revenue on a monthly basis. And what happens is, just like spam complaints, if there are complaints to the domain registrar, so for instance, in this case, it was hosted by GoDaddy. If people complain to GoDaddy, and now keep in mind, we weren't doing anything nefarious. We weren't doing anything illegal. We weren't doing anything even gray area. It was all white hat. Yet, as you may have witnessed, even people who opt into your opt-in list sometimes forget, sometimes will mark you for spam. You know, people have short attention spans. So for whatever reason, there were some complaints about that particular domain that made it to GoDaddy. And if you do a research that on Google that says GoDaddy took my domain, you'll find some examples. And here's the reality. We heard examples of people saying, oh, don't use GoDaddy because they're the only domain registrar that if they get complaints can actually take your domain, and it's a real pain in the neck to get the domain back. And just like a lot of the things in the world that we deal with, we thought that would never happen to us. That's ridiculous. We're doing everything right. We're not cutting any corners. We're not doing anything gray hat. We're not doing anything black hat. So we got nothing to worry about. The old that will never happen to us story. You ever had one of those stories you told yourself and then it happened to you? You're like, how did this happen to me? I didn't even do anything. Give me a 5 if you've ever had something like that happen in your life. Type a 5 if something like that has ever happened to you. And I'll wait just to make sure y'all can still hear me. Did you ever think that would never happen to me? And then sure enough, it happened to you. Type a 5 in the chat if y'all still hearing me. And if you have an experience like that, business or personal. 5. So Dean, yes, Dean, Daniel, Paulo, no. Oh, David's here instead of Donna, right? So David Lemon is here answering questions in the background. So Donna's not on with us this evening here in Eastern Standard Time. But I see Mark 5, Facebook user 5, Lenny 5, Eldon 5. Yes, so the old this will never happen to me scenario. How can I move my domains from GoDaddy to Namecheap? That's a great question, and we'll talk about that, Nelly. And so now keep in mind, I'm a Marine, right? So I was once a Marine, always a Marine. I served in the Marine Corps from 1993 to 1997, and the owner of GoDaddy is a Marine. And he's done very, very well for himself. And yet the only thing that I truly disagree with him and his practices and his business is they're the only ones who, if they get complaints, literally take your domain. You wake up one day and you're like, wait a minute, the domain's redirect into something. And you're like, what's going on? And you can't really contact anybody. It's one of those kind of like YouTube and Facebook scenarios where it's really hard to get to somebody. Well, in this case, you can chat with people at GoDaddy, but you can't get to the person who can solve the problem. Well, we've had some complaints and we've taken your site. Oh, great. How can we get it back? Well, you can't. Well, that's not an acceptable answer. Who can we talk to? We didn't do anything wrong, etc. So long story short, we didn't think it would happen to us. And then sure enough, this site that was producing multiple tens of thousands of dollars per month was seized and taken by GoDaddy because they said there had been a couple complaints about who knows what. And so that began the process of trying to get it back. And think about this. When you have clients that are going to give their money and they see warning, this site has been taken due to whatever, and had like a warning things there, automatically these people who are excited to give you money now are like, whoa, I'm glad I never got to give them money because they're obviously scammers and I didn't want to give them. So they're not going to be jumping for joy when you let them know, hey, we got the site back and there was no issue except, they took it without warning, etc. You're already in the bad guy zone, and good luck trying to get that business back. I think you all understand that psychology. So it began that process of trying to get it back, which was very difficult, and it took weeks. I think it was just over 3 weeks and close to a month to where we had that money-making site gone, and we're told again and again we can't get it back. Somehow, some way, we reached out to people in our network who got us higher up connections, and somehow, some way, not easily, we were able to get it back. So years and years ago, we switched everything to Namecheap. And and the funny thing is, in time, a lot of myself and Mike and others probably have bought some domains on GoDaddy because it's like, oh, that was an isolated scenario. It would never happen again. Like history, I'm a Marine. I have a hard head. Sometimes the second time, like, crap, I never thought that would happen again. And yet it did, right? So most of my domains are on Namecheap. I have a couple still in GoDaddy, but I have switched most of them over. And the ones that I did get, I used from the GoDaddy domain purchase service for like $70. They'll go negotiate a domain and you can buy it, etc. And then there's a certain period that you have to stay with them before you can transfer it to a different domain registrar. So that's a long story to just basically share why I personally use Namecheap and don't use GoDaddy. Now, the other rub of this is GoDaddy is its own standalone company, obviously at GoDaddy.com, but a lot of these other reseller accounts of domain registrars that have all sorts of different names, what you don't know is GoDaddy is white labeling to a lot of those. So there's a lot of companies that use different names, yet it really is GoDaddy, if that makes sense. And someone said here, all my domains are on Namecheap and their customer service is excellent. And Eldon says, yeah, it can really be a tricky business to get one back when this happens. You're 100% right. And holy cow, I mean, I hope that never happens to you. And here's the rub. It generally doesn't happen with scrub domains that has nothing going on. This happens with domains that are making you money, right? So it's kind of like 3-letter agencies don't go after businesses that aren't on a nice trajectory. They don't go after the broke businesses. They go after the businesses that have lots of money coming in. Well, the same thing occurs with domains. If they're getting no traffic, chances are good it's probably not going to be taken or seized, etc. If they're doing really well, that means it's a lot of people are going to it. And of a lot of people, the percentages work out where some people are just have a vendetta out for successful people. I don't like them making all that money. I'm going to report them. And next thing you know, your money-making site that you put all that time, energy, and effort in to build, boom, gets taken away. So I'm not here to put any negative spin or aura out there, but I am letting you know some from experience. That's why I personally use Namecheap. I know Mike did for many, many years. And I see some other comments here. Free privacy too. Yes, for life. Now Namecheap is giving free privacy for life, which used to be an additional fee. So anyhow, I'm not getting paid or compensated by Namecheap. It just has been when some circumstances had occurred, it would have been extremely difficult and was extremely difficult with GoDaddy in that one instance in particular, but several other smaller instances. It's been much easier to work with and get any issues resolved with the Namecheap, etc. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I think there's a country song that says something like that. So there we go. So I'm going to actually be showing you a live site creation where I'm going to be using the CNAME option. So I'm actually going to put my domain in there, and I'm going to show you how to go into Namecheap and transfer your CNAME. And I'm also going to show you how to do one of the important things that we talked about in several trainings ago. It's to be resourceful, and it's to be curious. And what I'm going to say, and I'll show you examples here in a little bit. So I saw one user ask, how do you switch domains from GoDaddy to Namecheap? I've done this, and it's a domain transfer. And so you go in and you go into GoDaddy and you start the transfer, and then it gives you a code, and then you go into the other registrar and you have to put that code in. So it's a process that takes a little bit of finagling and figuring out. But I'm going to guess from being curious and speaking to Google, just like I did, as you'll see in a little bit, I'm going to copy and paste a URL that I literally, to show it better visually than I can describe it, here's what I typed into the support inside of Namecheap. CNAME. I just typed in CNAME, and it came up with the list of things. It's how to transfer, the CNAME, and I'm going to show you. So I literally brought that up to show you step by step. When you're curious, you can ask these services how to do these things that for many people would be stumbling blocks. Ask the services, ask their customer support, and then you can also ask Google. So we'll show some examples of that in a little bit as well. So that was the brief description. I hope y'all are still with me. Give me a 7 if y'all are still with me and excited to get into the 5 steps to online success and results. And I know we're talking about 5, but I want a 7, lucky 7. Roll the dice. Let's come up with a 7. Show me a lucky 7 if you're still with me and ready to jump into the 5 steps to online success and results. All right. Yep. And George came in and said there are many videos on YouTube for transferring out from GoDaddy. Yes. Great point, George. And then Tozamis Creatives 7, Dean 7, George 7, Mark 7, Nelly 7, Daniel 7, Facebook user 7. Eldon said something. GoDaddy really wants to have you as a wrapped website built by them and you paying them for SEO services and as you promo ad agency. Oh my goodness, Eldon. Well, the great point is by far, GoDaddy has tremendous marketing that you can go emulate. So, so great. I'm glad you pointed that out. I mean, think about this. When you, and Namecheap does a decent job, but nowhere is near good as GoDaddy as far as the upsells and the cross sells and the path. I feel sorry for someone who's brand new going to buy a domain at GoDaddy, which is going to be less than $10. I'm not even sure what they're selling them for. At Namecheap, it's around $8.88, something like that. But I'm sure GoDaddy's around $10 for the domain. But I'm guessing their average cart value has got to be over $100 because of all the upsells and the cross sells and the checks and it's in the bump offers, right? Just the checkbox. Oh, well, man, it looks like I need this. Oh, man, it looks like I need the .net and the .org and the everything now. So I'm guessing their process of taking someone who's brand new at buying one domain for roughly $10 usually walks away with $100 minimum plus ongoing monthlies for all the upsells, cross sells, and bump offers that GoDaddy does. For nothing other than recording that process, it might be worth a $10 investment just to see all the upsells, the cross sells, the bumps. It's quite impressive yet intense at the same time. So they are intense marketers. I commend them for going for it, and I'm sure the numbers have to work. And it helps a lot of marketers who might be timid on sharing upsells and cross sells and bump offers recognize these billion-dollar brands are not timid to ask for the sale and are not timid to share. Hey, if you like that, you'll love this. Or, hey, did you think about this? Or what about this? And boom, 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 boom. That small $10 commitment turns into huge dollars on a monthly recurring basis going through that GoDaddy process. And it's something that's very impressive. All right, so everyone's still with me? Wow, someone says, Mark says, true story. One of my clients went to buy one domain and ended up spending over $900 doing what you just said. See? Holy cow. Like, think about that. What a brilliant business model. So even though I don't personally like that one thing about their business, what I do like is they are not afraid to ask for the sale, not afraid to offer different services and different products. And wow, imagine going to buy one domain, less than $10 per year, and you walk away with over $900 worth of purchases. Wow, that's impressive, incredible, and wow, wild. They don't know what they don't need, all that crap, right? So, and that leads back to ethically and honestly, I'm not one to bamboozle people, right? So I'm also not a big fan of that because people are going, just need a domain and walk away with $900 worth of stuff that who knows what recurring that is. And chances are good, they probably don't need 90% of it, if any, right? So there's that issue as well. But when you're a marketer, it's your duty to give those offers with integrity to your people. And, it's an impressive process to watch from a marketing standpoint. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to dive into this 5-step formula, which is going to share some stuff. Mark says she never bought another domain without my help again. Great point. Well, that leads to mentorship, right? Some people are like, whoa, that mentorship, that's quite expensive. Well, to learn it on your own is going to be exponentially more expensive of a learning curve, because you're going to make those errors continuously versus having that mentor to guide you along, say, hey, yes, that looks appealing, but you don't need any of that, right? And it's great for their business, not so great for your bank account. So here's what you need, here's what you don't need. Let me walk you through. And with that GoDaddy example, you'd want to have your clients on there with you, explaining to them, well, here's why you don't need this. And especially with the Groove apps, Groove Pages, GrooveSell, like, look, Groove Pages does all of this stuff for you with no monthly fees, with no additional things. So, it's all there for you in Groove Pages, GrooveSell, etc. So majority of those cross sells, upsells, and bumps are free with their free account with Groove Pages, GrooveSell. All right, so here we go. I'm excited to jump in and share this with you. Let me jump to slide number 2. And I don't like cutting any corners. I don't like keeping you in limbo. We're going to dive right in, because we're going to go through these briefly. And in upcoming trainings, we're going to dive a little deeper in each of them. But this is the list of the top 5. Now, I'm narrowing it down to top 5. There's obviously nuances, and some of these might even fall under conversion and in traffic. There's a whole bunch of other things that we can talk about, but we're going to briefly go through these top 5, and I'll summarize them for you. And pretty much I took what's on this sheet of paper that I mapped out for my kids actually earlier after we got back from breakfast, and put it onto this for you here. And so the top 2 you probably recognize. I mean, there's a big event that our friend Ryan Dice puts on, and actually sold that whole company, Traffic and Conversion. And that came up, in the mastermind that Phil Same, myself, Dice, Kern, many others were in, Jeff Walker were in. They're like, yeah, we're starting a new event called Traffic and Conversion. And all of us were like, that's a great name. Like, why didn't we think of that? Like, that's great. So the 2 things that most people talk about are traffic and conversion. And you can't have one without the other, right? And we're going to dive into each of these a little bit differently, and a little bit of depth, but not super deep today. But we're going to go deeper on each of them a little bit in upcoming trainings. So traffic, conversion, most people heard of those 2. The next 3 were what I put some thought into, and we talked about these in some previous trainings, but they're worth revisiting. List growth. And before I jump to some slides and stuff, it's not all about the size. It's how you have your relationship with your list, right? And that said, not all lists are equal, things like that. We're going to get into that. Your list communication. I and many other marketers have gone down the route of putting time, energy, effort, resources behind growing the list, and then so focused on new growth that you forget to build that relationship with the list, which goes into the KLT factor, the know, like, and trust factor. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that here shortly. And then the irresistible offer creation, whether that's an irresistible offer that preps up people and gets them excited for an affiliate offer or someone else's promotion that they have going on or launch that they have going on, the way that you craft that and are able to transition that, that's part of an offer, or creating your own offer. And the offers aren't all leading to a sale. The offer can be, simply enter your name and email below so that we can get you what we promised. And so we're going to dive into a little bit of each of these here for you this evening. And then I'm going to jump in and show you how to go into Namecheap, create a CNAME account, or transfer the CNAME and get it all squared away inside your Groove Pages app. So traffic, right? Not all traffic is equal. And we did a training a few weeks back. I wish, and I'll think about having this to reference what the dates were. And I'll try to see if I can go back and see what the trainings were. But there were trainings that we talked about writing sales copy and about entering the conversation in the mind of your prospects. You aren't, and if you think you are, this is something that's a good reminder. You aren't in the business to help everybody. The business that thinks they're in the business to help everybody generally helps nobody, right? You're in the business to help these specific people. And it is psychologically and demographically locked in that you can get, the more you can get into that. Here's who I help, and here's how I help them. And here's who I don't help, and here's what I don't do, right? So if this is you, you're not a right fit for us. The more you can help people understand, like, holy crap, this is exactly what I've been looking for with the product or service that you're offering, the better. And with that said, not all traffic is equal. And let's just use the example that many people use, with the Super Bowl, right? A lot of people around the world recognize the Super Bowl has one of the most highest advertising costs for a per minute segment of someone wanting to advertise on the Super Bowl. And Gary Vee actually went in and shared it's a little more than just the cost of the price of admission per se. They also have recurring commitments. Oh, by the way, it's not just the several million for that minute. It's a commitment of upcoming expenditures in X amount of dollars for the upcoming months. And Gary Vee talked about that when he had put aside and had aspirations to build an ad for the Super Bowl. And he was going to cover the cost that he thought it was, but he wasn't aware of the ongoing cost and commitment that it also entailed. But now the question is every business going to benefit from a Super Bowl ad? And I think you already know the answer. The answer is no. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous and totally lopsided of the amount of money that's necessary to invest in this when it's such a wide net cast to, such a wide group and diverse group of people that very few businesses can benefit from that and/or could make it feasible on their profit and loss statement. And the irony is most of the people who do advertise on it are the large billion-dollar companies who subscribe to not direct marketing, but the branding aspect of the old adage back in the day was, yeah, I know advertising works, roughly 50% of it. We just don't know which 50%. Usually they run ads that don't have tracking devices or have ability to know that here's where all of that came from. And many sites that are with the billion-dollar companies, if they post a URL, very few, even with the huge amounts of backing to, I'm sure, prepare for the massive traffic, many times the servers go down. I'm sure you've witnessed this. If you saw any commercials live during the Super Bowl and you went to the URL, A, it's slow to load if it loads, and B, many times it would have an error because there was so much traffic, the sites couldn't handle it. So Super Bowl traffic isn't the goal for most companies. Now, circling back, who is, and what is the best source of traffic for you? And that's something that you want to narrow in, and you want to get clarity on who your ideal customer and client is, where those people congregate. And the old saying, several marketers have run with it, but this was decades ago. The marketers say, look, if you're going to catch this type of fish, what type of bait does that fish like? And where is that fish? All fish aren't in all the different ponds, and some fish aren't in ponds, they're in oceans, right? You got to know where your fish, your ideal client is, and what they like, not what you like. And I heard someone say years ago, like, I love strawberry shortcake, I think was the example. So, hey, man, they must love strawberry shortcake too. Instead of thinking about what your clients love, a lot of people mistake, well, here's what I love, so they must love it. So I'm going to put on this hook strawberry shortcake and put that in the pond where my clients are. But your clients don't like strawberry shortcake. You do, but they don't. And so you're in the right pond, but you're putting the wrong bait out there is one example. So this all goes back to, how do you fish? Where do you cast your nets? And there's also many marketers who are not doing the proper research and casting all sorts of nets and putting all sorts of bait in ponds, lakes, and oceans where their people aren't there, right? So there's a lot of expenditures. And so you have to be really fine-tuned in who are my people, where are my people, and how can I get their attention? This goes back to the 4 things that are ancient in marketing, yet still applicable today. AIDA: attention, interest, desire, action. So with that bait's going to get their attention and interest. Like, ooh, look at that. It looks yummy. They're going to be desirous of it. They're going to swim over and they're going to bite it. And that's the action you're looking for. Attention, interest, desire, action. Then it's up to you to reel it in properly. And knowing that you can't just reel it in at super high speed. Sometimes you got to reel it in, let it go for a bit. Reel it in, let it go for a bit. And if you don't know those strategies, you can get the hook. They bite the hook, but you're, oh, great, you went for the sale too quickly, or you didn't get them to know, like, and trust you at the right pace, and you scared them, right? So the analogy of meeting an attractive potential mate out and about. Oh my God, you're the most amazing, beautiful person I've ever met. I want to marry you and have kids with you. You're going to scare the crap out of that person. They're going to run the other way. Right? Same thing with clients. If you reel them in too fast, you might lose them just because, wait, whoa, slow down there, buddy. We just met. I'm not sure I like you or trust you enough to ask for the large sale that you're asking for right now. So, all right, I'm talking. Sometimes I get a little anxious. I talk a little fast. Give me a 5 if you're still with me. Give me a 3 if you want me to slow down a little bit. 5 if you're still with me. A 3 if I'm speaking a little too fast right now. Sometimes I can get a little too excited. So 5. Eldon's still with me. Facebook users, a couple Facebook users there. Steven's with me. All right, cool. Everybody's still with me. So you recognize you got to build that relationship before you ask for those big sales. A Facebook user put -5. Hopefully that was meant for a 5. And I don't see any 3s. That's good. 5. Awesome. All right, everybody's still with me. So I've intentionally slowed down a little bit. I listen to audios at 3x speed, 300% speed. So sometimes that transfers into me talking very fast. So I'm glad to hear y'all are still with me. So Rob's page, Facebook user, Waylon. All right, a whole bunch of Facebook users. If you go to Facebook users, if you just put 5 in here, I didn't, Tozamas, Dean, Daniel, Stephen, George, Waylon, Linny, Rob's page, Antonio. If you put a 5 and I'm just looking, all I see is Facebook user. Go to the URL streamyard.com/Facebook. StreamYard.com/Facebook, and that will allow me to see your name. But all right, y'all are still with me. We're good to go. All right, so that's the first thing of not all traffic is equal. And then we jump into the different categories. All right, David just put that URL in there for you. StreamYard.com/Facebook. Whoever just put the 5, I just see Facebook user. I can't see your name. So go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Eldon says, I'm a 2x audio listener. Yes, I normally do 3x, but some apps only allow 2x. So when I have to listen slower, I listen to 2x. So, I tend to speak fast because I want to get as much out there as possible, but I'll take my time. All right, so not all traffic is equal. And then you've got it broken down. Some people break it into the 2 areas. There's paid traffic and free traffic. So paid traffic, obviously there's the different channels that we know of. So you got Google, you got Facebook. And with Google, it also transfers over to YouTube. So Google, Facebook, YouTube, which YouTube, yes, is owned by Google. And then a variety of other paid advertising channels. Free, I put in quotes, air quotes. Lance, 5 again. Yes, I see it. Patrick, 5. Robert, 5. Great. I see you. Facebook user. I also listen at 3x speed. I only see as Facebook user. So go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and accept that. And then I'll be able to see who your name is. All right. So I put in air quotes free because that's SEO and things along those lines. So doing videos on YouTube, putting the proper keywords in the title and the description. And when people are searching, whether on YouTube or Google, boom, it shows up, they watch your stuff and they love it. I will say this. It's not all about the numbers, similar to how we talk, and we'll get into a little bit more. It's not about the list size. It's not about the numbers. It's not about carrying or worrying about, I got 5 million video views. Guess what? You're not going to start off there. I got 5 views. I got 10 views. I got 20 views. Each one of those views is a human being. And each one of those people that do come across your video, do the free stuff. I say free because it still requires your time, effort, and energy, right? Your time to record the videos, the time to write the blog post, the time to send the email, all this free stuff that you're doing that plants those seeds out there and is ready for the people who are doing the searching to come across it. Well, guess what? Similar to me working in the car industry after I was in the United States Marine Corps, I've come to learn that there are no tire kickers. You and I don't drive onto the car lot and say, hey, man, I got a couple hours to waste. Let me go drive on an automobile car lot, park, get out, and walk around so that a salesperson comes over and I can go in and sit down and talk with this salesperson about buying a car and then say, oh, you know what? I was just killing a couple hours. I want to take off. We'll see you later. That's not going to be a fun situation for me. I probably am not going to do that. So similarly, if you go with that take of, look, 5 people saw this video. Those are 5 people that were searching in some manner for this topic and they came across this. And I will say this, in my being in the Marketers Cruise. So Mike Phil Same and I started Marketers Cruise back in January 2000, what January? 2007. So 14, 15 years ago, whatever. And even it sounds weird because it's 2007, but if you do the math, it's like we just did our 14th annual. So it sounds weird. We're only in 2020, but it works out to where we just did our 14th annual. And from being on the Marketers Cruise, it's interesting because without having the large numbers, a lot of well-respected marketers, like the big names, would come up and say, hey, I saw your video you did a couple months ago. I'm like, whoa. And it really hit me years ago. Like, even though they don't comment and you may not see their like or whatnot, certain people are seeing it, and it plants that seed of you providing value for them. And when done consistently, the free traffic can produce big results. And the free traffic can also go towards podcasts. Podcasts are a big one as well. If you have a niche that is suitable for a podcast, myself and others who've done podcasts, you find people that, man, you may never engage with them. They may not have got your opt-in list. They may not have bought your smaller products, but all of a sudden you have somebody who didn't buy any of your smaller stuff join at the highest levels that you have available. And you're like, hey, how did you find out about me? Oh, I've been listening to your podcast for 1.5 years. I love your stuff. Holy cow. No interaction anywhere until they buy your high tier products and services. So free is in many cases worth putting the time, energy, and effort in place. It's up to you to discern that. And there comes a point when you can have a team that helps you do that content creation and have the free strategy of planting those seeds for those right people. All right, I'm going to look at the comments here real quickly just to see what's going on here. I see a lot of comments coming. Is the screen frozen? No. Okay, good. Not here. It was for a moment. No, shouldn't be. Looks blurry. Must be my computer. Okay, now good. Okay, so everything's going. I saw lots of comments clicking, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. All right, everything looks good. Perfect. Okay, so the free stuff, you have to discern with your limited time, what with traffic are you going to put your time, effort, and energy towards? Paid, you're able to use metrics to see pretty quickly what the numbers are, what's working, what's not working. Free is more of a long-term, harder to distinguish, harder to break down, is it working or not, until a certain tipping point, right? But it's up to you to use your discernment, you and your teams, as to, okay, for this week, how are we getting traffic? We know that not all traffic is equal. We can find paid traffic. We can find free traffic. We can use our network, our referral, our word of mouth. And I'm not going to say that lightly, because that's produced ridiculously large results for myself, Mike Phil Same, the Groove pages, Groove Sell, Groove Digital company is huge on having raving fan clients who are sharing the message. So from that word of mouth referral and affiliate relationship referral, there's a vested interest. People are sharing the message, and that's bringing more people into the fold, casting that wider net, taking advantage of the irresistible offer, which is going to get into some of the other 5 elements that we're going to talk about, and casting that net, getting people into their fold, and then taking advantage of the different offers that are available. So take a look at all the different ways that are potentially out there for you to get more traffic, and ask yourself, where can we get our bait, our best stuff? The movie preview, like I always bring up the movie preview example. When Wanda and I are at movies and there's that preview in the beginning, at the end of every preview, we look at each other like, oh yeah, we're going to that one, or nah, not interested. When you give your people who are your target audience that preview, how are you going to, okay, how can we get the most of this? What can we do that's related to the paid? What can we do that's related to the free? What can we do related to affiliate, referral, word of mouth, our network, expanding our reach? And guess what? As part of Groove Pages and Groove Sell helps you with this. Groove Sell is the most amazing tool that will allow you to tap into this and spread that word of mouth when done properly. Right? And we're going to have much more deep conversations about that as we get to know each other in the upcoming weeks. So traffic is the first of the elements necessary to succeed online. Let me jump over to the second. Conversion is the second. Right? So you got the traffic. Now you got to get the conversion, which goes back to the bait, which goes back to giving your best. and helping people understand, holy crap, if this is what I'm getting for free, imagine what's going to happen when I take advantage of these offers, right? Look, I got to know, like, and trust them. I get to see that they're the real deal. And the messaging has come across in a manner where I can clearly see what's in it for me. And then when done right, and when you clearly identify who your target audience is and your ideal clients and prospects are, they're going to be like, man, I've been looking for this. Like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And I didn't even think it existed. I'm so glad that I crossed paths with this. I'm in. Here's my name and email, my real name and email, and or here's my debit card. Here's my credit card. I want this. And I can't believe, like, of course I'm going to do this because I would have paid 10 times more for it. And that's not coming from the point of, well, I should have charged 10 times more. No, it's like, that's the welcome mat. That's the introduction of them doing business with you. That goes back to the philosophy of under promise and over deliver. And that builds that raving fan right from the get-go. Man, I really I enjoyed this process. I loved buying this. My friend Jeffrey Gittimer says, people love to buy. They hate to be sold. Think about this. You love to buy. You're out there. You're like, I'm looking for this. Man, thank God I found this. I want this. Thank you for providing exactly what I was looking for. I love to buy. I hate to be sold. Right? And when done properly, you can position it, and we'll get into the irresistible offer creation, where it's really not hard pressure sales. It's like, look, you've got the solution for the problem, for the challenges. You can get them to the top of the mountain with your products and services. And you are more than eager and anxious, because you believe in yourself, you believe in your company, you believe in your products and services, to deliver it and help these people. Like, here, let me help you. Let me bring you up to the top of the mountain. Let me get you to the destination that you've tried to get to. You didn't even think you could. But guess what? I've been there. I know how to get you there quickly, efficiently, effectively. Come on board. Let's make this journey. Right. So with conversion, you're going to know what percentage of the visitors take action, the proper action desired. So whether that's creating an opt-in page, whether that's creating a sales page, a video sales letter, all different scenarios, a webinar, what's the conversion? A webinar opt-in page. Of the traffic that gets there, for every 100 people, how many people are registering? And we'll talk about a little bit of this here in a second. So opt-in, and you want to be asking, and we'll talk about this a little bit here shortly. Where is my next opt-in coming from today? And that goes back to traffic, and that comes back to conversion. How am I getting the traffic, and what am I going to do to give myself the highest probability of making that conversion? Purchase. Where is my next sale coming from today? So with the traffic that's coming in, how and what can I do to make this a smooth transition to get them to know, like, and trust me fast, and make the conversion of the sale occur as quickly as possible? In some cases, that's getting them to a video that explains something briefly that gets them to opt in, which leads to another video. Hey, that's on the way to your email box. You're going to love that. And also, I have something you're going to love even more. Like, that's coming. You're going to love it. Check this out. This is the dream come true. And then you get into whatever the offer is, right? So you can move very quickly from someone opting in to seeing that one-time offer, that what would normally be a thank you page, right? After people opt in, thank you for opting in. Check your email box, and you're going to have the nice report that we just sent to you. That's a normal thank you page. Or when they opt in, hey, congratulations. That's going to be sent to your inbox. It's on the way. You're gonna truly enjoy that, and you're absolutely going to love what I have in store for you right here, right now. This is something that I'm testing. Give a reason why, and go into an offer. A lot of people who just opt in, just got to know you. Now you hold their hand and you guide them to the desired outcome that they have in that particular niche, and they'll be anxious to earn that, to take advantage of that offer, and you can earn that sale, that purchase. That, by the way, was the secret to Mike's first multi-millions, using his butterfly marketing thank you page strategy, which was using affiliates to send people. That's going to be another training. I'll give the thank you page strategy. It's a really in-depth, awesome thing. But basically, it gets people to opt in and then immediately see a one-time offer. And so the opt-ins were a high percentage of people who got to the page. The traffic was targeted, ideal traffic. High percentage of people opted in, and a really great percentage of those people actually took advantage of the one-time offer. So Mike was growing his list and earning money while he's growing his list due to the process that he put in place. And I'll make a note to train on the thank you page in the upcoming thank you page strategy, which is BFM, Butterfly Marketing. It's brilliant. And I'll go deeper into it in some upcoming trainings. So you can grow your list and grow your revenues when done properly and when done strategically. Happens all the time. Let me take a look over here. All right, everything's going well. Okay, good. And then sometimes the conversion is, something coming up, or, if you like this, go ahead and do me a big favor. I love creating this type of stuff, but I love more hearing your feedback. What part about it really touched you? What part about it got you excited? Simply leave your comment below, like and share this, and stay tuned. I have a special gift for those people that leave a comment. I'll be sending you a direct message. So leave your comments below. I look forward to seeing you on the next message. Something brief, simple like that. Sometimes that's enough of a call to action. That can be that shot over the bow, per se, with an upcoming project that you have coming. A lot of people have been reaching out to me and asking, hey, Tom, I know you're great at this. Do you have a course in this? I don't have a course on it yet. Since so many people have been asking me about this, I thought, maybe it's time for me to heed that call, heed that question, and put a course together like that. So let me ask you, if I were to put a course together on this particular topic, would that be of interest to you? For example, I'd be talking about things like this, stuff like this. So if this is something that you're wanting to know and you feel that I can help you do this, I'd love to hear your feedback. If I get enough feedback, I'll put it on the list of products to consider. If I don't get enough feedback, I just, it was an idea and I'll probably not do it, right? So if you like this, leave your comment below, because that will lead me to making that decision of whether or not I'm going to create that course. So sometimes the conversion is getting a comment on your blog post, getting a comment on your Facebook page post. Does that make sense? So give me, all right, so I see some people over here. Give me a 8. Give me an 8 if you're still with me and you're enjoying this so far. Give me an 8 if you're enjoying this. Waylon says, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Eldon says, great training. Lenny says, that's exciting. Thank you for all the training. 8. Search Team SEO, 8. Antonio, hey man, I would definitely take a look at any material you put out. Thank you. And that was a hypothetical, right? That was just an example for you to emulate, by the way. So as I said that was something that you could think about. Like, look, several people have asked me, they know what I do. So I see Antonio, Dean, Tozamos, Facebook user, Antonio, Daniel, Facebook user, Miriam, Eldon, Lance, Veronica, Scott, Facebook user, Kat, Waylon, Antonio, Lenny, Mark, Robert, Maria, thanks, great training. Even I'm a newbie on this call, who's looking forward to making a successful business. Awesome. Glad to hear, Maria. KS Tan, Rob's page, Dwight. Sorry, just got here. No worries. You're here at the right time, my friend. Welcome. Malcolm, Search Team SEO. Good to have you here. Jonathan, 8. You're calm and great to listen to, Tom. I appreciate that, Jonathan. Hopefully valuable to listen to. That's, great to listen to is awesome. I want to put money in your pocket, money in each of your pockets. So this is training to now take and implement so we can get money into your pockets, change your life. That's what this is all about. And this is all thanks to the amazing team at Groove Pages and GrooveSell. Groove Pages, the Groove Digital company is here to support you on this journey. So this is my honor to be giving you this message, which, just so you know, people hire me for multiple thousands per month to give them training for 1 hour per week. And so this is an investment from Groove Digital into you. So I'm just not some free person off the street. They're investing in your future. So that's a huge kudos to the whole company. And I just want you to recognize that. And I don't take this lightly. Mike Vilsame and I, when we worked together from 2006 to 2011, we knew lives were on the line. And I know your life is on the line. I'm going to give you the real deal. There's nothing I'm leaving out here. And now it's up to you to implement all this. So I believe in you and I know you can do it. And that's what I'm here to help transfer over to you. All right. So conversion, it's up to you to know your metrics and think about, okay, how can I increase the percentage of opt-ins? How can I increase the percentage of purchases? Let's give you some examples. So for a webinar opt-in, for a video page opt-in, what are the good percentages that you want to be looking for? Well, generally you'd want to be over, in my opinion, 30% opt-in, right? So if 100 visitors get to your site who are target audiences, remember we talked about not all traffic's equal. You've done the research, and you now have the tools out there to get that targeted traffic. If you get 100 visitors, you want probably 30 at least out of 100 to opt in. And there's some people that have offers that can get up to 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%. I've seen some get in the 80% arena where the traffic is so targeted that 8 out of 10 people register. And now, that's something to aspire to. You want to get, when you have that belief, and I'll say this, belief transfers. When you believe in yourself, you believe in your product, you believe in your service, you'll want to put that out there so people know, like, and trust you, and they feel your passion. They feel your reason, your purpose for doing what you do. That transfers. So when you're really passionate about what you do, make sure you incorporate that in your messaging, in your copy, in your headlines, in your videos, all that stuff. And do as much as you can to get people to see, wow, this person really cares. This person truly is helping people, and I'm excited to have them help me. All right, so that's for opt-in pages. So you want to at least get, from my perspective, at least 3 out of 10, at least 30%, but strive for 40, 50, 60, and never quit. Like, look, in my opinion, I feel out of 100 people, 100 should be joining. Like, look, if these people want this is the right place to get it. And if you don't, you just have to have that belief. Like, I feel 100 out of 100 should be joining. I don't know what I must be doing something wrong if 100 out of 100 aren't joining. But knowing you're not going to beat yourself up with a stick if 3 out of 10 join, or 4 out of 10, or 5 out of 10, right? If that makes sense. All right. So, Maria, so grateful I got a chance. Such a great platform. For me, it's not easy to left turn. Okay, great. Good stuff. All right, so we're on track. So there we are with conversions. Now let me jump over to the slide and move to the next one. List growth. And now we kind of talked about this with the opt-in on conversions. So you got to be asking yourself, where is my next opt-in coming from? Here's the reality. If I build it, they shall come only worked in Field of Dreams, in that movie with Kevin Costner all those years ago. It doesn't happen online. If you build it, you're going to get tumbleweeds in a desert. You'll have a 7-Eleven in the middle of the daggum desert, wondering why you got no traffic and why you got no conversions, because just because you planted your domain name and put it out on the web doesn't mean people are going to be jammed into the door. You have to be asking yourself, what am I doing today and this week to answer that first question? Where is my next opt-in coming from? Where am I getting the traffic? And what am I doing to improve the conversion? And it all starts with zero. And if you're at zero, my goal is to get my first opt-in. What am I doing to get my first opt-in? If you got 1 opt-in, how am I going to get 5? If you got 5, how am I going to get 10? How am I going to get 20? How am I going to get 50? How am I going to get 100? How am I going to get 500? How am I going to get 1,000? Always the next level. If you're at 1,000, how am I going to get 1,500, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, etc. All right. So what's my next strategy that's going to allow me to know the answer to where's my next opt-in coming from? What activities today and this week are leading me to growing my list? And you're not just seeking the higher quantity, you're seeking higher quality. So it's not just about pounding your chest. Well, I got this big list. Okay, when you send an email, how many people open it and how many people click? Well, I got 1,000 person email list and 5 people open it and I get 1 click. Crap. Right? Don't want that. You want to have it where I got 1,000 person email list, or I got a 100 person email list. I get 90 opens and 45 clicks. That would be amazing if you could keep that track record on the percentages, right? As to what the percentages are, it's all over the board, and it really relates back to the relationship that the list owner has with its list. We're going to talk about that in a second. So just keep in mind, this isn't all about size. It's not who can get to the biggest list as quickly as possible, by raping and pillaging them, right? You want to get your list to be a quality list that looks forward to your communication with them, that follows your guidance, opens the emails, reads them, takes the proper actions by clicking, etc. And that happens when you under promise and over deliver. You give them value, you lead them properly, you remain consistent, and you lead them to the right path. You don't lead them astray, right? You are someone who truly cares, right? And I know each and every one of you are like that. All right. So just keep in mind, it's not the size of the list, it's how you use it that counts. And it trust me, many scenarios of people with huge lists that don't have the relationships with the list, that a much smaller list, sometimes 10 times smaller lists, can outperform that large list because the relationship is strong with the smaller list. So don't have the list envy. Don't be thinking, man, if I just had that list my whole life, look, it's up to you to start where you are, whether you got 0, whether you got 50, whether you got 500, you got 5,000, you got 500,000. How can I build a stronger relationship with them to where they're opening my emails, they're clicking on the links, and they're looking forward to hearing from me, and the relationship is being grown. So think about that. All right, where are we on it? We're getting now to the next one. List communication. Communication, relationships. And it's a process, a relationship building process. So the question is, how often should you communicate with your key relationships? Frequently or infrequently? And I'm smiling because the answer should be obvious. You want to communicate frequently with your key relationships, and you want to build a key relationship with your subscribers. And so you have to determine what that is for you. Now, I'm going to give a couple examples on the next slide that have different time frames, but they build that relationship through consistency, through commitment, and some other things that follow up into the KLT factor. KLT is they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And how does that happen? They get to see you. They get to see your heart. They get to see your expertise. They get to know that they're in good hands. They're going to be guided towards the destination that they're looking forward to achieving, overcoming their fears, doubts, worries, insecurities, problems, challenges, all that, getting to the finish line. And you're the person that helps them get there. All right. So I see some questions here. Okay. Holding back just because I'm waiting for GrooveMail, so I don't have to transfer everything. All right, Waylon, I'm going to share an insight with you. And this is a personal insight. And Eldon just said, Waylon, unless you have a huge list, I would not wait for GrooveMail. Small lists are never hard to port. Exactly. Right. So I made a decision a long time ago that really cost me. And it was a costly decision where I'm going to wait for this reason. And then once that's done, then I'll start. And I since, after learning that, realized, never put off the actions that are there to grow yourself or your business. Right. So things aren't always going to be perfect, and the time to start building your email list was 10 years ago or now, right? If you didn't start building it 10 years ago, now is the best time to start building it. Not a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, when the stars align or a new thing comes out. Now is the best time. So I recommend finding a service, get it going right now. And then when GrooveMail comes out, it's super simple to transfer. And it's going to be even simple to transfer decent sized lists. So I would not let that hold you back from starting your list growth right now. Jonathan says, how often should you mail? Well, you read my mind, Jonathan. I'll be talking about that on the next slide. All right, so consistency is key. And this goes back to similar question about if people are into podcast. Maria says, how can you give that know, like, trust when you're a beginner? I mean, you have to start. Question is where I should start. Where you start, Maria, and it depends on, most people are hopefully fulfilling what I feel is the best thing to ever have as a reality, is to be paid very well for just being you, right? So you have your own personality, your own experiences, and your own perspective. And that separates you from all your competitors. So I don't care if you're in a niche. Let's say you're in the health niche. I don't care if there's tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of competitors. There's only one Maria, and there's only one Waylon. There's only one Eldon. There's only one Jonathan. There's only one Tazamos Creatives. There's only one Dean, David, Mark, etc. There's only one of you, and you have your personality, you have your experience, you have your perspective. And when you own that and you become that person who is knowable, likable, and trustworthy. So know, like, and trust. They get to know, like, and trust you because they see who you are. They get to see your personality. They get to know your experiences that gives you the expert status. They get to know your perspective, which your perspective in the same niche, crowded with a whole bunch of other people, you say things a little bit differently from your perspective than others. You've created specific strategies and tactics that can help people in ways that nobody else can because of your unique personality and experience and your unique perspective. So when you own that and you are able to be yourself, people are going to know you, like you, and trust you. So that's a brief scenario of that. All right. So there we have it. And now a couple examples. So if you don't know these people, now I'd recommend you start to get to know them. All right. So Jeffrey Gitomer, I was fortunate to meet him in person in 2001. I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'd been a big fan of his book. He's a numerous New York Times bestselling author. He's the #1 bestselling author in sales of human history. So he's written the Sales Bible. He wrote the Little Red Book of Selling, the Little Red Book of Sales Answers, the Little Black Book of Connections. He mentions me in that on page 113, I believe. I introduced him to one of my other clients from a long time ago, the NFL Hall of Fame quarterback, Jim Kelly. So Jeffrey Gitomer is the #1 sales author of all time. And he mails once a week to his Sales Caffeine. He started Sales Caffeine, I think, shortly after I met him, or maybe right around that time in 2001. He hasn't missed a single week since roughly 2001. So what's the years? 19 years of not missing a week. People plan their sales meetings because every Tuesday morning they know without fail they're going to get an email from Jeffrey Gitomer on Tuesday morning called his Sales Caffeine. I actually introduced Mike Filsaime to Jeffrey Gitomer in the end of, what year was that? 2005. I was working with Jim on the project, or I'm sorry, Jeffrey on the project with Jim Kelly, and I wanted to introduce him to some strategies in the internet marketing world. So I brought in Mike Filsaime, and I brought in a couple other people as well to his office in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we had a tremendous meeting, and we actually helped him understand how to grow his list at a very large rate, in which he did. He implemented and he did grow it tremendously over the upcoming years. But it really boils back to consistency. So the question about how often should I mail is very similar to the question for people that run podcasts. So should I do a daily podcast? Should I do a once a week podcast? Should I do a once a month podcast? And the answer is a lot of people think dailies for them. And the reality is it's a big commitment. And it's hard for most people to follow through with that commitment and promise to their podcasters. And the same thing applies to email marketing. A lot of people are like, you know what, I'm going to email daily. And they see all the benefits of emailing daily. And then after a couple of weeks, they're like, holy crap, it's hard to email daily. I run out of things to talk about. I run out of things to be of interest, right? How can I mail daily and not get boring? How can I mail daily and still have people looking forward to hearing from me and not get bored about what I have to say? So think about this. If you set the expectation, you tell people that you're going to be mailing them every single day, and then they get an email every day for about 3, 5, 7 days, and then they don't hear from you, you've kind of broken that promise. You've broken that trust. So I bring up Jeffrey Gitomer because he's a perfect example of having a highly successful business, and he emails once a week. So I'd recommend you get curious and go research Jeffrey Gitomer and look at his weekly email that he puts out called Sales Caffeine. And you're going to see he does it differently, right? And I'm bringing him up for a couple reasons. 1, he's consistent. 2, he does it once a week. 3, he embodies being him, perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect, however you want to categorize it, which you can look at yourself. I can look at myself in the mirror and say, I too am imperfectly perfect. or perfectly imperfect, either or. I'm that. How can I own being me and put my personality into it? Share my experiences, share my perspective. Jeffrey owns himself. And with that, similar to Rush Limbaugh, similar to Howard Stern, he can't. So he's one example I wanted to bring up, because for some people, that might be the right fit. Like, you know what? I need to be consistent, and I'm not going to make a promise that I can't fulfill to my people. So I'm going to tell them, I'm going to send out an email once a week on such and such day by such and such time. You can count on it coming to your inbox. And when it comes, here's the value. Here's what's in it for you. Here's why you're going to look forward to it. Here's why you're going to want to open it. Here's why you're going to want to read it, because here's the benefits that it's going to be inside waiting for you each and every week. Then the next example is Ben Settle. I have his stuff back in my bag back there. I've been reading a lot of Ben Settle lately. Ben Settle is a legend in the internet marketing, copywriting arena, and not just internet marketing. Actually, he's not a big fan of the internet marketing world, but he's done very well in the internet marketing world. But he's written copy for all sorts of different niches, and he has his own copywriting courses and recommendations and books and all this stuff that he does. And his main thing is a monthly newsletter where he shares his personality, experience, and perspective. And people pay to get a mailed in the mailbox letter they get once a month. And that's something they can count on. For years and years, he's been doing it. But they also can count on they're going to get at least one email from him a day. At least. And he tells them, look, sometimes I'm going to email you 3 times, 5 times a day. And you're going to want to read each and every one of them. And he follows through with that. He sets the expectation. And he will, guaranteed, you're going to get 1 email from him a day. And chances are good, you're probably going to get a couple from him a day when he has some things that are going on that he wants to make sure you don't miss out on. And he does it in a manner that follows through with the 4 things we talked about earlier: attention, interest, desire, and action. And he does it by sharing his personality, his experience, and his perspective. And he does it in a manner where he has a very high open rate. He has a very high click-through rate. And he has people that actually look forward to not just getting the 1 email, but they're like, man, I hope he sends me some more. Like, he has that cult of personality where people look forward to hearing from him because he's a great storyteller, and he's been able to embrace and be fully him unapologetically. And very similar to a Howard Stern or a Rush Limbaugh, as far as people either love him or hate him, and he doesn't give a crap either way. Because he's banking good money each and every month, right? So I wanted to bring
Okay, I think something happened. He just disappeared. Just keep on, guys. I think he's coming back soon. He'll be here in a moment. He was having some difficulty with his computer earlier, so I think it is just a mistake that it disappeared. Just stay right here. You can type in the comments number 5 in case you're enjoying and following this training. Is everything okay? Just please type in 5 in the comments. We have him here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the heck happened, but I'm back.
Yeah, Tom, I am keeping them occupied. I asked them if in case they are following, just to press 5 there for us.
All right, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. So apparently what happened is when I reached for my mouse, I swiped it back and it logged me out of StreamYard. So guess what? You got to be persistent and you got to keep on trucking, baby. So stuff happens and you roll with it is the bottom line. So now I'm going to see if I can share my screen. There we go. So where I left off before I got excited and swiped myself out of here, I'm back. Like Arnold, I'll be back. All right. So the next thing I want you to do is become curious and figure out where and how you can take a look at what Ben's got going on. You know, and he is a great example as Jeffrey is. Jeffrey is consistent. He's raw. He's real. But he's totally different from Ben, who's also consistent, raw, and real. Jeffrey mails once a week to his Sales Caffeine newsletter. Ben mails once a day and tells his list when they opt in, you're probably going to receive on occasion 2, 3, sometimes 5 or more emails from me in a day. If you don't like it, tough luck, but you will like it because I deliver value. And he's very, very good at being consistent. All right, so I'm back. Welcome. Thank you. Thanks for sticking with me. Ben Settle, hate it or love it. Exactly, right. And think about this. How awesome would it be to be as comfortable in your skin as either of them to say, look, love me or hate me, I'm going to be me. And in being me, I don't lose an ounce of sleep for the people that hate me. And I really love hearing from the people that get great value and, change their life by following the stuff that I get to share with them. Right. So this is the ultimate thing, in my opinion, is to get paid well for being you. Right. So we're almost to the close here. And I mentioned about this. So you must be interesting. Right. So regardless of what you choose, set the expectation for your people. And you can expect to receive an email from me once a week. In Jeffrey's case, every Tuesday morning before 10 a.m., you can expect that. Or Ben Settle, you can expect an email from me at least once a day. And there's going to be some times where you might get 3, 4, 5 or more emails from me in one day. You'll be like, what the heck? And the cool part about it is you won't get bored. You will be interested. And you have to think about this from your own personality, experience, and perspective. You don't want to bore your audience. And how can you remain someone who can hold your audience's attention and they look forward to hearing from you? You got to think about those things. And guess what? As with any muscle that you work out, you're going to get better with it over time. Jeffrey wasn't the best in 2001 when he started his weekly. He was pretty darn good. He already was a New York Times bestselling author, but he got better and better and better as the years unfolded. Same thing with Ben. Over the years, it might have been tough for him to write a daily email for a while, but it now becomes a habit and a ritual. Just like brushing your teeth. Like, yeah, I write my email every single day. You have to get your routine in order and know that you're going to start not as good as you're going to be years from now, but you're willing to start right where you are. Okay. And here we go. Then the irresistible offer creation. So if I'm going to step away, there we go. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to make my screen full, my camera here. I think David might be, there he is. He's the one helping me. I thought it was happening magically. The magic is he's helping me in the background there. So thank you. So of the 5, right, we talked about traffic, conversion, list growth, list communication, consistent and interesting list communication. Now offer creation and messaging, right? So that's where we got to dive in. And now we'll go back to the slides. See, so wow, I just talked to the computer and it works. Thanks to David's help. Appreciate it. So what can I do to make my offer absolutely irresistible to my target audience? And you really have to put some time, effort, and energy to think about this and go through. There's a thing that I put in the Facebook group a month or so ago called an empathy map. An empathy map, what's going on in my prospect's mind, my ideal prospect's mind? What are they seeing? What are they hearing? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are some of the words that are unique to this situation that they might be knowing about? And how can I craft something that's going to overcome their fears, worries, doubts, insecurities, worst case scenarios, and get them to the promised land, all their dreams coming true, as quickly, efficiently, and effectively as possible. And you have to think about it. I put trial example as if this was a trial. Think about the big O.J. Simpson case. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit, right? Whoa, that's pretty darn good. The glove didn't fit, so it can't be him. How can you make it a trial to where you're there to present your case in a manner where it's irrefutable for the people that are looking for the solution that your product and service has? It's no nonsense. Like, this is the deal. Everywhere else is not the deal. This is the deal. And that leads to the third one there, of how can they feel like I'm the only solution that they are seeking. And that comes to the last one there that I left a blank. Your unique mechanism. Your unique mechanism. And that can be your name, the Tom Beal solution. Guess what? Frank Jones can't have the Tom Beal solution. Or, Sally Struthers can't have the Tom Beal solution. See what I'm saying? Your name can be that. But you need to think of that unique mechanism that if they Google it, you can't put, leg lifts. Leg lifts. I got leg lifts as my strategy. And if you do the leg lifts, you're going to have six-pack abs. I got the leg lift strategy. They're going to go to YouTube and say leg lifts, how to do leg lifts. They're going to find thousands of leg lift examples. And now you're not the only one who can solve their problem. Your unique mechanism. What is the name that if they were to Google that name, the only thing that would come up is you and your product and solution, and no one else has it because you created it. So I've got the Success Magnet System. I've got the Trinity Success Method. I've got, a whole bunch of different 3-day Apple Fast. I've got a whole bunch of different things that I've created that are my unique mechanism. And the last one's not even really a good one because the 3-day Apple Fast, people can go on YouTube and Google 3-day Apple Fast. They're going to find a whole bunch of stuff about 3-day Apple Fast. So I got another domain that is a unique mechanism that doesn't describe the benefit, which they can Google and find. It's now unique to me, the unique mechanism. So give me a 3 if you're still with me. If this is all making sense to you, give me a 3 if you're still with me. Here's the link to Ben Settle. Yeah, bensettle.com. I think it redirects to, if you go to bensettle.com, that'll get you there. Facebook user, would love to have that confidence. Maria, yep, got you there. Facebook user, I stopped worrying about what others think long ago. Not arrogance, just happy with where I'm at. Good job. Next to last, there's hard when you're one of the dozen more promoting the same offer. Yeah, right, exactly. So Robo reply 3, Pierre 3, Facebook user 3, Veronica 3, KS Tan 3, Dwight 3. All right, Antonio, Nelly, Tozamos, Linny, Eldon, Wolfgang, Facebook user Rick, Adrian, Facebook user Jody, Facebook user Mark, Facebook user. If you're a Facebook user, next time you come out and go right now to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and then I'll be able to see who you are. StreamYard.com/Facebook. You can do that in another window, and it'll give you that process. All right. So that is how, and like I said, we're going to dive deeper into these in some upcoming trainings, but this is just the overview. With your unique mechanism is how you make them feel like you're the only solution that they're seeking, right? So you have to come up with that. And we'll talk more about that in some upcoming trainings, but I think it's important for us to discuss here today. So now, how to host in Groove Pages with a live site creation that I'm getting ready to do here. I'm going to go inside my Namecheap. I'm going to show you how I do my CNAME stuff. I'm going to put a header image, and I'm going to pull in a YouTube video. And we're going to do it lickety split. So I'm going to go here. And I also think I have to make sure you can see it. So let me make sure I'm doing that. StreamYard, share my screen. Whoops. Okay. Now I'm adding another screen, which is going to be my Chrome tab. GrooveFunnels, yes. Share. Okay, so now I'm logged in, and once I logged in, now I'm going to go to Groove Pages. I'm going to create a new site, and I'm just going to go down to. I'm going to go. So once I'm logged in here, I'm going to click on New Site. I'm going to click Templates. I'm going to check this one out. I'm going to actually want to check something here. Just going to scroll down and see what we've got. Click preview on this one. Oh, that's a lot. I don't want that one. This one, preview. Okay. All right, that's a lot, but I'll do this one anyhow. Like that. Select. All right. So now what I'm going to do is first I'm going to see if I can take this. What is that in there? So I'm going to delete that. Confirm that. All right, so y'all can see me. Let me make sure. I'm going to jump over here to make sure y'all can see me. So what I'm going to do is make a couple adjustments here first. Now I'm going to see what I can do. Elements, text, list, media, buttons, devices, other, navigation bar, logo. All right. So now I'm going to actually try to insert something here. Choose an image. I've got to upload an image. I'm going to click on this. So hopefully you're following along the clicks that I'm doing here. Recent images, header, open. I'm going to upload it. Click that arrow there. There it is. Select it. I'm going to select it. And then I have to choose image. Whoops. Update dimensions. Select. So I don't know why it's not showing it to me. What did I miss? Choose image. So that image is there. Oh, background color. Nothing. There we go. Perfect. The color. So I got rid of the color. That color was blocking it. So I'm going to exit out of there. So this is a site for list envy. And I'm actually going to change that image because it has repeat. Where did that go? So I got to go here.
So Tom, when you turn on the expert mode, you will be able to see up there, when you cancel out, just turn on the expert mode.
There we go.
Then in the background section, you will be able to edit the no repeat.
Right. No repeat. There we go. No repeat. Perfect. And then I want to center it. So I'm going to click on it and spacing, sizing. Where we center it.
So there in the background section, just click on cover. There you go. And then just the middle one in the box below there.
That one.
Yeah, that's
perfect. All right, cool. All right, so there's that. Perfect. And there we go. So that's, you also have to recognize you don't have to be perfect at it. You just have to get it going, right? So now I'm going to jump over to this. Let me see if you guys see this. Okay, let me check. So I'm going to go to screen share. So I'm going to do this quick, but we're going to have fun doing it. So Chrome tab. Actually, I got to go over here real quick. So now I'm going to go to my YouTube video. I'll pause it. Okay, so that's paused. Now I'm going to go in here and show you this. Share screen. I'm just going to show the Chrome tab. I think okay. YouTube. All right, so now I jumped over to YouTube. And now what I do in YouTube, I've already uploaded a video prior to today's chat. And since it's a site called List Envy, I did a little video here. Size doesn't matter. Minute and 42 seconds. I'm going to pause that because that doesn't matter. I go up to here, and in that video, I get after the V equals, after the equal sign, I copy and paste that. I'm going to jump back over to my GrooveFunnels. There's got to be an easier way for me to do this. This is only my second time using StreamYard. I'm figuring it out, but wait a minute, your entire screen out. I can't scare it. Okay, interesting. Chrome tab, GrooveFunnels. Okay, so now there's that. Now you're seeing that. Okay, so now GrooveFunnels, I'm going to go to the video in here, go to configure, paste that code in there. Click update. Boom, there's the video. Of course, videos always pick the best resting face, right? Pending widget. I'm going to keep that there for a second. And now I'm going to go to elements. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom of elements. And I'm going to bring in Aweber. I'm going to pull over Aweber, email name. I'm going to go here, Aweber component. See how that's there in the bottom? I'm going to go to configure. I'm going to click list. And somewhere in here is the list envy. There it is, list envy. Redirect link. I'm going to give this redirect link. Okay. That. Okay, so now there's the opt-in page. or I'm sorry, the opt-in form. And I could get fancy and get all creative and stuff like that, but you'll see the video is only 1 minute and 40 seconds long. It's really brief. It's to the point. I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to go to the publish aspect. I'm going to publish this on my domain. And I'm going to follow what it says there. So I'm going to go www.listnv.com. Now it says to publish a custom domain, you must create a CNAME, a name or alias record with your domain registrar pointed to this. So I'm going to copy and paste this. But prior to me doing that, I had a page saved prior to coming on tonight. I'm going to copy and paste. Actually, so I'm going to copy and paste this first. Then I'll come back and copy and paste this that URL. So now I'm going to be logging into Namecheap here soon, but I'm going to show you this page. Now I got to get off of this page. Stop screen share. All right. Delete. Now I'm going to share this screen. Like I said, next week I'll be hopefully a little bit better, figure out the StreamYard, but now you're looking at this. So inside Namecheap, all I did was search the knowledge base of CNAME. So now you're going to follow along with me. So whether or not you see this video and they're like, okay, cool, I got it. This shows you how to change your CNAME record inside your domain once you're logged in to your Namecheap account. So first, step 1, you log in. Step 2, you go to your domain list, you pick the domain. Step 3, you click on Manage. Step 4, you click on Advanced DNS. Step 5, you click Add New Record. Step 6, you go to CNAME record. And then in the host, you type www, and then the value you paste that, what it said to paste inside GrooveFunnels. And then save all changes. And then you're good. It goes into some conflict. If you had another one with conflicting, pretty much, I'm just going to go and do it automatic. All right, so now I've got to log into my Namecheap account, which I should be able to see because I'm seeing in that window. I got to log in. Okay, and of course, I usually use Safari. So now I got to go into my 1Password to figure out what the heck my password is. And then I have I have to authenticate it. So I got to go into my app on the phone. You always want to have like two-step for your Namecheap is my recommendation. That way no one can steal your stuff. Oh boy, that's a long one. All right, copy that. Should be able to paste it over there. Okay, so and I use one of those long ones, which also is recommended. I copied it on my phone. I pasted it in here. And so now I got to authorize it on my phone. This allows me to not have any domains stolen, which is nice. Now I'm going to go to the Namecheap. I'm going to go to domains. Okay, so domain list. I'm going to go to list envy. Of course, it's taking a while. Why is it taking so long? Okay, there it is. Manage. I'm going to go follow exactly what we saw on the other page. I'm going to go to Advanced DNS. I'm going to put add new record. I'm going to do a CNAME record. Host is www. Target. I got to jump back to the page that I'll show you in a second, which said host10.groovepages.com. You'll see that in a second. I'm going to paste that in here. And then I put save all changes. Oh, there it is. So now I'm going to jump back to GrooveFunnels. And I clicked it. So I clicked publish on your own site. I typed in what it showed there, www.listenv.com. I did what it said here, created the CNAME, had it go there. I'm going to click publish. There it is. Usually go live within a few minutes, but may take longer. So now let's test it out. Oh, you guys didn't see that whole process because I just noticed I was only in. Let me show you that process. Now we got to go to StreamYard, So I noticed you didn't see that process because I was still on Namecheap. I'm going to share.
So Tom, when you are sharing your screen, there are options in the little pop-up window. There is share entire screen, share a tab, share different options. So once you share your entire screen, then we can see when you're changing the tabs.
Okay. There it is. Yep. It wasn't allowing me to click share because I didn't click on it. Now I see it. So when you're in your entire, okay, so you learn something every time. So now your entire screen. And so now I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click share. Perfect. So now you see a whole bunch of stuff. When I go here, you guys should see list envy. And I don't want to, so now I can't click over to StreamYard because I don't, so, and I can't even see because if I click over there, it's going to do that whole weird thing. So David, let me know. You guys, if you see, or David, let me know. Do you see now inside?
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
Perfect. So what I was describing here is I went inside. Now in the publish area, when you click on publish, this all pops under. You don't have to do what we just did, but we did. So I didn't click on host your site with us. I clicked on publish on your domain. I typed in the www.listenv.com. When I clicked publish, it pulled the www off. So I'm just going to keep it the way it is for now. And then it said to publish a custom domain name, or I'm sorry, to publish a custom domain, you must create a CNAME, a name, or alias record with your domain registrar pointed to. So I copied and pasted that, as you saw, and put that into Namecheap. So when I click publish, it hit me with, it says, okay, it usually takes a couple minutes. So now let's go over and see if list envy. Okay, didn't do it yet. And it takes a few minutes. So, and actually I'm gonna go test something real quick. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna see if, because when I published it, oops, it said www publish. Okay, it pulls it off. Okay. Take that off. Okay, so content save. Changes usually go live within a few minutes. So I just did it inside Namecheap. And so it may take a little bit for that to occur. And let's go here now and do a hard refresh. All right, so it's not working yet. And that can be, I did automatic. So let's see what we got here. All right, so within a short amount of time, it should be working, but it's not yet. See, that's the thing. I thought I was all excited to show you live, but guess what? When you do live, sometimes there are delays. So that site will be up, just not yet. And let me just to verify, let me check something out here. See, I'll go back and verify that I did it. Okay, save the CNAME record.
So Tom, just to mention to everybody, guys, once you're changing your DNS records in Namecheap or basically the platform where you have your domain hosted, it might take some time, sometimes up to 24 hours for it to propagate. There is KS10 or also said it. He checked it on a service called the DNS checker. Yep. It sometimes takes a bit of time, but you can use this basically process to connect your domains.
Yep, and Namecheap even says, once you've done this, wait for 30 minutes for the host records to be accepted. So it can take, like you said, sometimes 20 minutes, 30, and up to 24 hours. But many times I've done it, it's happened pretty quickly. So, unfortunately, it didn't happen as quickly as I was anticipating on today's training, but you get the point. So there's how we did it. And I can jump back over here just to show you. So real quickly, I downloaded a banner I had made forever ago. I could go resize it because it actually has this, let me see sizing. Let me see what we got here. So sizing, auto pixel, let's see what pixels is. Okay, so let me see what this does. Okay, so now I can see it. So now it's there. Size doesn't matter. And then all I'd have to do is center that. Spacing. Where is it? Background. Align. Oops. Click on it. What am I missing? None of that. Background. Cover. All right. David, what am I missing on that one to center that?
You would need to click on the image.
Yep.
So And then below the image, basically, you need to click on the container that is holding the image. So click on it. Click on the image one more time. Yeah, so this is set up as a background of the block. So we would basically just need to play around with the sizing and the spacing option at this point, as it is a background of the block.
Okay. Yep. Background. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. I downloaded that image. We could play around with it to center it, but I did have it in the other manner where if we do sizing and if we just go to auto, boom, it's, it gets the message across, and then we pasted the video in here. I put the email opt-in and propagated it. Well, set it up inside with the CNAME record. It's going to take a little while to change that over. But then there you have it. As simple as that. How to host it on your own domain as it shows inside publish. Oops. Click on that. So there he is. That's how to do it. So the other ones that I've created over the last few weeks were just simply host with your site with us. If you click on that, you then just give it a name, list envy, and that's immediate, right? So I've never done it with both. Let me see what happens. I don't know. I've never done it with both. Let me see. Let's do a test. Okay, so since I did it with the CNAME, it makes sense, right? So that won't work because I have the CNAME propagating. If you don't do it with this way that we did it, you can just select that and pick your name, and it's automatically going to be that URL, whatever the name is. So my subdomain is Tom Beal, whatever yours is, .groovepages.com/ whatever name that you choose. If you select that, but when you do this way, you got to, the nice lesson in this is give yourself a day. It's probably going to happen sooner than that, but give yourself a day. You don't want to have a webinar going live when the site hasn't propagated yet. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have been asking questions along the path. My hope is that today's training opened your eyes to the 5 steps to get your online results and online success. We talked about traffic, conversion, list growth, list communication, and the irresistible offer creation. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this isn't all about just learning. This is about implementation. So that is today's training. I'm going to turn off the sharing once I figure, okay. I'm going to turn off the sharing. I'm going to go to StreamYard. Now I can go back. Okay, when I'm here, when you're sharing, then it goes into that multiple screen. So now here we are. Can you demonstrate adding an opt-in form for, say, Aweber, not using elements but templates? That's going to be a different training. I knew there was some things coming up, and David, you might be able to answer that. Is that, yeah?
Yes, I wanted to jump in, guys. There is already a training done on that in the Facebook group. You just need to search through my videos. Most of the videos that I did were using the pre-built blocks and the templates. So there is one also with Aweber. So just look through those trainings and then you can find the one that you're looking for.
Very cool. And someone said we're already propagated in New Zealand, right? So that's the funny part. So here's real live feedback, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a worldwide propagation. Some places happen sooner than later. So pretty wild, pretty awesome. So David's been answering your questions inside the chat here. I see that. It looks like everything is good. And it looks like we had an engaged audience. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for your attention. I thank David for his help inside the Facebook group. Facebook group, the YouTube, and the StreamYard, where we've been streaming live, answering your questions. And as you can see, helping me with some questions that I have as well. So he is doing some trainings. All these trainings are going to be found inside, as he mentioned, they're in the Facebook group. And then you also have GrooveDigitalAcademy.com. GrooveDigitalAcademy.com. You get to log in for free there. And that is also where you can access all these weekly trainings that I do. You'll see a lot of the previous trainings there for myself and others. And now it's up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to take this stuff and run with it. So I'm seeing more comments coming in. Thanks, guys. Much appreciated. How we get our affiliate number to promote this. All right. So, yeah, I got enough time to do that real quickly. So I'm going to share the screen. And this time I'll just be able to do Chrome tab. GrooveFunnels. Okay, GrooveFunnels. So while you're logged in, how to promote this, you go to GrooveSell, click on GrooveSell, and right away it defaults when you log into a vendor. You want to click up on it and switch it to an affiliate.
Tom, we cannot see your screen. We see the Groove Pages dashboard there.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on a second. I thought I shared the right one. StreamYard. Oh, wow. Okay, where'd that one go? Okay, so affiliates. I'm going to log out of that. Entire screen. Boom. All right, entire screen. So I'm going to log back out. So now you guys can see this. David, you can see the screen at the login.
Yeah, we can see it now, yeah.
All right, so when you're logged in here, you quickly go to GrooveSell. When you log in, this part here, it automatically defaults to vendor. You want to click on it once, and it now is on affiliate. And then once you're on affiliate, you go down to promos. Click on promos, and it has your promotion and links. And you're going to see your GrooveFunnels already there. And from there, all you do is click this link, and your options are going to come up. I would recommend you choose the first option here. And yours is going to be unique and different. It's not the same as mine. Each of them are individual. You copy that. That's your unique link. Anyone who goes and signs up and gets the free Groove offer and then chooses to upgrade based on your URL. Let me show it. So when they click on your URL, they're going to see the offer page to get it for free. It's normally $99 per month, free during COVID-19 crisis, free lifetime accounts, no credit card required. They're going to see the videos. When they take action and create their free account, you're going to get tagged. See, refer. Your name is going to be the referrer, and anybody that upgrades, you're going to earn the commissions. So that's step by step how you go find your affiliate link to answer the question. If you don't see from the steps that we went through, you clicked on affiliate, clicked on promos. If you're here and you don't see that, you then simply go to GrooveJV.com and you register. You should already be there, right? You should already have that there. But if for some reason you don't see this GrooveFunnels and have that link available for you, simply go to GrooveJV.com, use the same email address that you are using for your Groove Pages and GrooveSell account. Oops. And then you will see that inside your account. Click on the link, choose that top link, copy it, and then paste it, and that's the link that you send to be an affiliate. So I think that answers the question. And I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Okay. And there we have it. So there it is to answer that question. And ladies and gentlemen, we are done for today. So I hope this was helpful. Go make myself and David proud and implement this. And go get your list building going. Go get your offers going. And we look forward to seeing you on next week's call. David, thanks again. Look forward to chatting with you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Tom. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.